Welcome back to Lakbay Rizal, where we discuss about and journey through Rizal's life and works. We often say the pen is mightier than the sword, and certainly Dr. Jose Rizal proves this statement definitely. Using the pen as his weapon, he sparked Filipino nationalism, ideals, and revolution, creating the sovereign nation we have today. Today we shall discuss the two novels which changed a nation, Noli Tangere and El Filibusterismo, and their impact on Filipino society. Disclaimer: this video utilizes mostly secondary sources for information and was made by Filipino students to show appreciation for our national hero, which is a part of our integration project. By watching our video, you are supporting our work. Thank you. The first novel to be published was Noli Me Tangere, with El Filibusterismo being the sequel. Both novels used a Spanish medium and were written in the context of a Spanish Philippines. Noli was published by Rizal in Berlin, Germany in 1887, predating the Philippine Revolution by almost 10 years. Meanwhile, El Fili was published in 1891 in Ghent, Belgium. We shall now dive into the themes and key characters of each novel before discussing the impact on Filipino society. Noli Me Tangere follows the story of Juan Crisostomo Ibarra, a young Filipino returning from Spain after 7 years of study to his hometown San Diego, in Spanish colonized Philippines. He learns of his father's unjust death in prison. Still, Ibarra was determined to build a secular school as his father wished, but faced opposition and abuse from clergy and authorities amidst pushing for reform. Meanwhile, the tragic fate of Crispin, Basilio, and their mother demonstrates the church's abuse of power. The story continues with Ibarra getting excommunicated after an argument with Padre Damaso escalates, almost resulting in the friar's death, due to Ibarra learning that it was he who desecrated his father's grave. He later gets framed for rebellion. The story ends with Ibarra fleeing with fellow revolutionary Elias, who later ended up wounded. Maria Clara, Ibarra's fiancée, believing him to be dead, enters a convent. But before Ibarra flees, she told him that she was forced to give an incriminating letter under the threat of revealing that her true father is Padre Damaso. The main theme is the exposition of corruption, abuse, and cruelty of the colonial government and unchecked power of the friars, stifling attempts at reform and widespread suffering in colonial society. In El Filibusterismo, Ibarra returns as a vengeful jeweler named Simon to incite revolution. The clergy and colonial authorities' abuses and suppression for reform are still evident within the novel. Basilio and Isagani with students campaign for an independent Spanish language academy but are suppressed, with Basilio even arrested. Meanwhile, Basilio's love, Huli, ends her life after being assaulted by a friar, and her father becomes a bandit after losing his land to the friars. After the collapse of the student movement, Simon enacts his final plan of revolution, blowing up Manila's elite in the wedding of Paulita Gomez and Juanito Pelaez. However, his plan is foiled after Isagani, still in love with Paulita, throws the explosive filled lamp into the river. In hiding and now wounded, Simon confesses his true identity to Padre Florentino and overdoses in medicine. In his dying breath, Padre Florentino urges him to keep his faith in justice. Now, both novels contrast on whether reform should be achieved peacefully within the system or through revolution. In both novels, Rizal demonstrates the struggles of Filipinos for reform and the injustice experienced by them. In El Fili, it imparts on the reader the dangers and futility of violent means. Rather, it pushes for individuals to pursue change through non-violent means and reforms. Through his novels, Rizal impacted Filipino society by inspiring the Philippine Revolution. Moreover, by showing the shared suffering of Filipinos under Spanish rule, Rizal creates a shared imagined community for Filipino identity, becoming the foundation of Filipino nationalism and eventually one sovereign nation. Lastly, in closer analysis of Rizal's novels, readers can still put together parallels between modern society and its characters and demonstration of injustice and corruption. Thank you so much for watching.